They must be built for the kill. The Amazon, the biggest river in the world. Flowing through the forests of South America, fed by huge amounts of rain. It's the haunt of huge killers. Black caiman, the largest predator in the Amazon. Anaconda, the world's biggest snake. And along its banks, the largest cat in the Americas, the mighty jaguar, stalks its prey. In this land of giants, even the flowers come in extra large. And below the surface, a legendary killer is living up to its reputation. These are piranha, and blood in the water can trigger a feeding frenzy. But in this land of killers, something is preying on the predators. Dangers lurking in the murky Amazon waters. But what kind of killer can take on a piranha? This animal might look cute, but it can grow to nearly 2 meters, that's over 6 feet in length. It's a giant otter, known to the locals as the river wolf. Their playful behavior masks the fact that they're super efficient river hunters. These animals really are built for the kill. Their bodies are as streamlined as torpedoes. Their feet are well webbed for swimming, and their tails are long and flat and used like rudders. Their fur is incredibly dense. The outer layers keep the warm underfur dry, even after a long time underwater. They can close their nostrils when they dive. They can also shut their ears. But what makes them such incredible predators? It's thought that their long whiskers are key for detecting the movement of prey. You can tell how important they are. It's murky down there. Not only do they have to find their fish, they also have to chase it. Piranha are fast, so the otters are equipped with fantastically efficient webbed feet. The back ones for speed, and the front ones for steering. The giant otter's whole body is designed for underwater pursuit. Even with those sensitive whiskers, they have to get quite close to the fish they're chasing. The whiskers pick up vibrations in the water, and their streamlined bodies and steering help them move in on their target. During deep dives, their pulse can drop to a fraction of its normal rate, which conserves oxygen and lets it stay underwater longer, up to 4 minutes at a time. Even deadly piranhas stand no chance against the sharp teeth of a river wolf. It eats its prey head first, the better to avoid those razor-sharp piranha teeth. The legendary piranha has become a tasty treat for a river wolf. Still to come on Built for the Kill, a giant North American predator and a huge-jawed killer grab. Rivers shape our world and the behavior of the animals that live in and around them. When you look at them from space, the power of rivers is obvious. Their influence spreads beyond each bank into the surrounding landscape. Where there are lots of rivers, there are lots of animals. For them, waterways can be highways and a place to settle down and start a family. And where there's lots of wildlife, predators won't be far away. In the rivers of Alaska, the waters are packed with dying fish. But these salmon aren't victims of pollution or poison. It's all part of their life cycle that sees them returning to the rivers they were born in to lay their eggs and then die. Each pair of salmon could have laid up to 8,000 eggs. An icy riverbed isn't the coziest nest, but if the eggs survive a few short months, the salmon cycle will begin again. Dippers are built to hunt under fast-moving waters like these rapids. They're also the only aquatic songbirds in the world. These feet can grip onto stones underwater, so the dipper is able to run along the bottom of the stream. But how can this little bird stay underwater for such a long time? It's the dipper's feathers that hold the secret. Looking after their feathers is as important to them as maintaining diving kit is to a scuba diver. The outer feathers are like a diver's dry suit. They're sleek and water repellent. This stops the dipper from becoming waterlogged, a potential disaster in this cold water. The underlayers are short, soft and downy. They act like thermal underwear to keep the bird warm. But they have to keep the outer feathers waterproof, so they transfer oil from glands at the base of their tail. In dippers, these glands are about 10 times bigger than those of other similar-sized birds. These pint-sized hunters get their name from the dipping movement they make when alarmed or when resting between dives. The dipper looks for potential food. It's thought that translucent membranes which go across the dipper's eyes help it to see more clearly underwater, a bit like slipping on a diving mask. They swim underwater with their wings, and special flaps stop water getting up their nasal passages. These dives drain energy, so the dipper's body is built to use it efficiently. They can store more oxygen in their blood than many other birds, and the amount of blood going to non-essential organs decreases when they dive. When they dive, they're surrounded by a net of bubbles, which helps keep them dry. These bubbles might normally rise back to the surface, but hunting in fast-moving streams counteracts this. All this makes them successful at feeding, where most animals would find it hard to keep their balance. Those fertilized salmon eggs that escape the dipper's sharp beak and other perils will eventually hatch. When they're mature enough, the survivors will head out to the Pacific. There, all kinds of dangers await them. Some killer whales specialize in preying on salmon. But if they survive life at sea, adult salmon head for their birth river. Chemical signals guide them back to the stream where they hatched and where they'll spawn and die. Upriver, the nets of local fishermen pick off more salmon. Once they enter the river, they never eat again, so each rapid is a greater challenge. Buffeted by the water, they need to rest before attempting the next sections. It's not just the local fishermen who know that the salmon are returning. Other anglers are going fishing. And find all the best fishing spots. At rapids like these, on Alaska's McNeil River, a wily group waits for the salmon to arrive. If you believe everything you read, you'd get the impression that bears are a scary mix of big teeth, sharp claws, and serious aggression. But for much of the year, their idea of a good meal is a mixture of fruit, berries, and roots. Berries and nuts are a good source of sugar and fat. A bear can get through 200,000 of them in a single day. They're solitary creatures and usually only hang out with other bears when they're young. Bears are opportunistic feeders and will catch large animals when they can, but a big animal takes a lot of energy to catch, so berries are an easier bet. It's rare for such a large predator to eat so much fruit. Most other big predatory mammals use their strength, speed, and teeth to catch a bloodier diet. But before their winter hibernation, bears must put on a huge amount of weight. And the need to pile on the pounds coincides with the return of a favorite food source to Alaska's rivers. It'll be worth the bear's weight. Catching fish is a tricky business because these salmon really are slippery customers. Learning how to be an effective hunter is one of the most important lessons a mother can teach her cubs. Following Mum is a good way to start. Scanning underwater is one method for spotting your prey. Bears' eyesight is thought to be fairly good, and this technique pays off for some of them. But it's all about practice, and each bear seems to develop its own favorite way of hunting. For some, watching from the shore works. Sooner or later, they'll put those enormous claws to use, hooking fish from the water. Others wait in ambush in the rapids. As every fisherman knows, there's always one that gets away. And while Mum fishes, the cubs try too. Fish are a fantastic source of energy, and at these falls, a bear may catch up to 8 salmon in a single hunting session. Another good place to hunt is further upriver at the shallow spawning ground. Even though the fish are in shallow water, the bears still need the right tactics to catch them. Here they use a sprint and scatter technique. Bears can run as fast as horses when they need to. However bears catch their fish, they're surprisingly delicate when choosing the best bits to eat. When there's a lot of prey about, they tend to eat only certain parts. Fish skin is tasty and full of fat. But their favorite bit of the salmon? It's those eggs again. The eggs provide valuable nutrients in far greater abundance than their spring diet of roots and berries. One berry has perhaps about a tenth of the fat of one fish egg. The eggs also supply 25 times as much protein. So it makes sense to lick up as many as possible in preparation for the long winter hibernation. The rich protein and fat provided by the salmon is vital for these bears' survival. If they don't eat enough now, they won't make it through the winter. Fortunately for the bears, there are plenty of salmon to go round, and many bears return year after year to fish this river. They can pick and choose the best the river offers. This many bears in one place only happens when food is abundant, like when the salmon are running. And with so much food around and so many bears, table manners are quickly forgotten. Fishing rights are precious, and some heavyweight contests decide who gets to feed. These top predators rely on their omnivorous diet of fish, roots, and berries for survival. Their opportunistic hunting strategy, combined with keen senses, quick reactions, sharp claws and teeth, mean these bears are built for the kill. It's spring again. This mother's fishing skills ensured the safe birth of her cubs while she was hibernating. In the coming summer, they'll learn hunting strategies of their own, and the rich feast the salmon provide will help the whole family thrive through the winters ahead. Africa's arid savanna. Rivers are few and far between. Water attracts both prey and predator like a magnet. The river's banks are the setting for a bloody ballet, as one of Africa's biggest predators lies in wait. The rainy season is over. Thousands of wildebeest move off on a great migration to find fresh grazing. The killer is waiting. A long line of wildebeest heads towards the river. Water is essential, especially on this epic journey. So when they reach the riverbank, they stop to quench their thirst. There can be up to 1.5 million of them on the move. They have to drink regularly or they'll die. Their need for water is thought to be one of the reasons why they don't always recognize danger. When they do finally spot danger, panic spreads through the herd. The croc watches and waits. Nile crocodile averages 5 meters or 16 feet from nose to tail and has a fearsome reputation. Its muscle-packed body can weigh up to 900 kilos. That's nearly 2,000 pounds. It has unlimited sets of teeth. Unlike us, when an adult tooth falls out, there's another one growing to take its place. These gaping jaws might look ferocious, but it's thought they're regulating their temperature, like a dog panting. Like all reptiles, crocs warm their bodies in the sun. These wildebeest are in no danger while this croc is cold and sluggish. During the day, crocodiles will bask, absorbing the sun's rays. This takes time. Their normal operating temperature is around 88 degrees Fahrenheit or 31 degrees Celsius. And once they've reached optimum temperature, it's time to go hunting. They can submerge totally, barely giving themselves away. A croc can hunt with only 2% of its body visible. No wonder the wildebeest are wary. In fact, the crocodile's senses can pick up a single wildebeest putting its mouth in the water, or detect individual hoofballs. This means it doesn't even have to see its prey. Using the powerful tail, it steers its muscle-packed body towards the bank. A croc is a low-profile predator. The flat shape allows it to creep up right underneath its victim's nose. Its adrenal gland sends steroids round the body in preparation for a strike. Not all hunts are successful, but when they are, it's not the fearsome teeth that kill. It'll drown its victim in the water the wildebeest was so desperate to reach. A croc's teeth and jaws aren't designed for chewing, so it's developed a special way of dealing with its dinner. This might look like a tussle over a mouthful, but it's actually the way crocs eat. They dismember their prey. Between them, they twist and tear the flesh of their kill in what's known as the death roll, before swallowing huge chunks whole. These giant reptiles may need help feeding on their victims, but their stealth and power make them river predators par excellence. The Nile crocodile, truly built for the kill. In the rivers of Africa, not all dangers lie below the surface. A bird flies high above the river valley. Soaring upwards on the early morning thermals, an airborne predator is preparing for a day's hunting. This is a fish eagle, one of the river's most elegant and efficient killers. There are many types of fish eagle around the world, almost all of which employ similar amazing hunting techniques. They normally hunt from a perch, using their astonishing vision to pinpoint their prey. One secret of their amazing sight is hidden within their eyes. Like us, they have an especially sensitive area of the retina, the fovea. But eagles have a second fovea, which is thought to make their vision up to 8 times sharper than ours. Our vision is sharp in the center, but our peripheral vision is not as clear. Eagles have a wider angle of sharp vision, so they can see a larger area clearly. Keen eyesight plays a vital role in fish eagles' hunting success. They wait on their perch, then swoop towards their prey with great accuracy. They can catch fish that weigh almost as much as they do. The eagle is much larger than the fish it's carrying, but remember that birds are likely built for flight. The kill is taken back to the perch. It's believed that birds of prey can control the amount of light entering their eyes by voluntarily contracting the muscles in the lens and pupil. This would be particularly useful for fish eagles hunting in bright sunlight and could help them spot fish just below the surface. Fish eagles generally hunt in the same small area. Rivers and lakes can provide enough fish, so they don't need to go further afield. The technique is almost always the same. Spot the fish and start the swoop. As the eagle closes on its prey, it lowers its legs. Just before the kill, it slows down and pushes its talons forward. Fish are their normal diet, and they only need to hunt once daily. It can take as little as 15 minutes for one of these highly efficient killers to catch all its food for the day. A sharp, hooked beak tears fish apart with ease. Like all raptors, they have very effective feet. Their talons are built for grasping and act like mousetraps, snapping shut as soon as they touch prey. Eagles like these, which catch fish, have spiny scales on their feet to help them hold on to their slippery victims. Their swooping dive is a masterclass in elegant flight. First, they go into a controlled glide with wings back. Then, the feathers at the end of the wings spread to check the speed. Tail feathers fan as a brake, the feet shoot forwards, and... another success for the fish eagle. Speed, precision, and elegance make fish eagles the river's ultimate airborne predator. Rivers can be dangerous places. There could be danger lurking on the banks, or below the surface. But you'd think that a fly perched up here, with great all-round vision, would be able to spot trouble coming from any direction. You might think that, but you'd be wrong. Archer fish are nature's sharpshooters. What makes them unusual for a fish is that they hunt for prey above the surface. What makes them unique is how they do it. The archer fish's secret weapons are in their mouths. Pushing the tongue against a special groove in the roof of the mouth forms a tube, like the barrel of a gun, or more accurately, the barrel of a water pistol. When the gill covers are snapped shut, a jet of water is pushed along the tube to the snout. The tip of the tongue acts as a valve, releasing the jet of water in the right direction. And if at first they don't succeed, they try and try again. They can shoot several times before they need to reload. For any marksman, practice makes perfect. Hunting in packs is a good way to bring down prey. But you have to be fast to grab the spoils. Their eyes are more forward-facing than those of many other fish. This gives them binocular vision to help them pinpoint their prey. They can also swivel them to keep an eye on the prize. Their backs are flat. This means they can get closer to the surface. And their fins help them hover in the water. But there's one big problem when you're hunting from water into air. Look at the reeds in the back of this shot. They seem to break at the water surface. This is caused by refraction, and the archer fish have to allow for this if they're to hit their target. Looking from underwater, nothing is quite where it seems to be. This fish is looking at the fly at an angle and sees it in a different place to its real location. But there's one spot where refraction isn't a problem. The middle fish, directly beneath the fly, will see it in the correct place. The sniper is locked onto its target. Sometimes, even when the fish have got the physics bit sorted, their victim will just hang on for dear life. That's when the archer fish's other special skill comes into play. This is one river dweller that doesn't mind being a fish out of water. In this river, you don't need to be big to be a top predator. Archer fish may be small, but to a fly, they're deadly. The world's rivers shape the landscape and the animals that live in and around them. They're home to some of the planet's most spectacular predators, all masters of the rules of the game, and every one of them built for the kill. They must be built for the kill. The Amazon, the biggest river in the world. Flowing through the forests of South America, fed by huge amounts of rain. It's the haunt of huge killers. Black caiman, the largest predator in the Amazon. Anaconda, the world's biggest snake. And along its banks, it can drop to a fraction of its normal rate, which conserves oxygen and lets it stay underwater longer, up to 4 minutes at a time. Even deadly piranha stand no chance against the sharp teeth of a river wolf. It eats its prey head first, the better to avoid those razor-sharp piranha teeth. The legendary piranha has become a tasty treat for a river wolf. Still to come on Built for the Kill. Not only do they have to find their fish, they also have to chase it. Piranha are fast, so the otters are equipped with fantastically efficient webbed feet. The back ones for speed, and the front ones for steering. The giant otter's whole body is designed for underwater pursuit. Even with those sensitive whiskers, they have to get quite close to the fish they're chasing. The whiskers pick up vibrations in the water, and their streamlined bodies and steering help them move in on their target. During deep dives, their pulse, the largest cat in the Americas, the mighty jaguar, stalks its prey. In this land of giants, even the flowers come in extra large. And below the surface, a legendary killer is living up to its reputation. These are piranha, and blood in the water can trigger a feeding frenzy. But in this land of killers, something is preying on the predators. Dangers lurking in the murky Amazon waters. But what kind of killer can take on a piranha? This animal might look cute, but it can grow to nearly 2 meters, that's over 6 feet in length. It's a giant otter, known to the locals as the river wolf. Their playful behavior masks the fact that they're super efficient river hunters. These animals really are built for the kill. Their bodies are as streamlined as torpedoes. Their feet are well webbed for swimming, and their tails are long and flat and used like rudders. Their fur is incredibly dense. The outer layers keep the warm underfur dry, even after a long time underwater. They can close their nostrils when they dive. They can also shut their ears. But what makes them such incredible predators? It's thought that their long whiskers are key for detecting the movement of prey. You can tell how important they are. It's murky down there.